I want to begin today's show with the latest buzz, rumors, theories, etc., propaganda even, on the quarterback class. Everyone expects Caleb Williams to go number 1 overall. That's been the expectation for a while. Who goes 2, who goes 3, and to which team is still very much up in the air. The NFL media scouts disagree. There's different reports that consistently contradict each other as well. Here are the latest odds, which are heavily tied into the various reports you see out there. Jaden Daniels minus 125. Drake Maye plus 150. J.J. McCarthy skyrocketed after last week's report of he might go number 2 overall from Tom Pelissero. The general trend from post-regular season to now is maybe Drake Maye doesn't end up even being quarterback 1B or quarterback 2 has had been kind of the expectation going into it, which I find interesting. I'm a big fan of what Drake Maye offers. I get Justin Herbert's vibes there, where there are even some of the similarities of he just missed that throw. Not what you always want to see there. I don't think the supporting cast for Caleb Williams or for Drake Maye, frankly, were all that particularly good, but he's got the size, the mobility, the arm strength, the high-level plays are on film. Even some of the, kind of like you see from current Trevor Lawrence, where he makes some of the tough throws look hard, but also has some, bozo gene qualities where you don't really want to have from that perspective. Tries to do a little bit too much there. There are things to like a lot about Drake Maye. I think sometimes he tends to drift to the pocket and create some of his own issues. Probably one of my biggest concerns there. So where would you put Drake Maye among the NFL quarterback prospects this year? 1 to whatever number. Rank him for me in the comment section right now. Because you don't actually ever have consensus, quote unquote, Jaden Daniels has plenty of fans in the NFL. The big difference for me between Maye and Daniels is when Maye gets out of the pocket, he looks to throw. When Daniels gets out of the pocket, he looks to run. There's a big difference there. Now, he makes enough plays with his legs that you're certainly okay dealing with that from the perspective. The downfield passing was very successful for Daniels. He has a strong arm. Doesn't like to go over the middle of the field. And that is a little bit of a red flag for me. There's even maybe even more Justin Fields to his game than Jaden Daniels, or than even a Lamar Jackson does. My comp there is Monstar version of Tyrod Taylor, which is a good thing, to be clear, because Monstar version of Taylor is top 15 NFL quarterback. The number 3 pick odds sit like this. Drake Maye, minus 125. Jaden Daniels, plus 125. And McCarthy, better odds to go 2 than 3, which I find really interesting. And for me, at least, the J.J. McCarthy hype has gotten a little bit strong. We can go back and look at our way too early 2024 mock draft after last year's draft ended. We had McCarthy in the top 10. We knew there were going to be people that liked him, that coaches were going to rave about him overall. The numbers are not great. I think in the right system, he can absolutely have success, but this is not necessarily a top 5 quarterback prospect for me. In terms of top 5 pick worthy. He's as we'll get into, behind Maye and Daniels. So of those 3 guys, pick a quarterback. DM for Drake Maye, JJ for JJ McCarthy, JD for Jaden Daniels. Pinned comment, by the way, on today's video. So these are my quarterback rankings of the top 5. I've got Caleb Williams at number 1. Once I get around to stacking my board, will be 3 or 4 overall. Drake Maye will be a couple spots behind him at quarterback 2. I do have a first-round grade on Jaden Daniels as well. He's quarterback 3. It's a later first-round grade, but it's still a first-round grade. I have a later second-round grade on J.J. McCarthy. There's some boom and bust qualities there. I do think a Shanahan-McVay-style offense would be very ideal for him. And then I've got an earlier third-round grade on Michael Penix. I forget who it was. Someone comes to Sam Bradford. I go, oh, that's a good comp. As a pure pocket passer, I think Michael Penix is as good as anybody in this class. But there are other things that I worry about, which we will get into later on in today's show. But first, this video is made possible by Game Time. I don't plan things in advance these days. I buy my tickets last minute because it comes down to, okay, can we get the wife's and I's scheduled organized? Can we get the babysitter squared away? Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. They have deals on tickets right up to the start of the event, even an hour after it starts. It is the place to find last-minute seats. You can find exclusive flash deals, sponsored deals for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Concerts included. You can find some very cheap baseball tickets because some would argue that season is a little bit too long. Keep an eye out for the zone deals. You pick the section, Game Time picks the seats for big-time savings in the process. So download the Game Time app, create your account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. But again, create your account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. They're obsessed with finding ways to help you save money on tickets, and the $20 off is just one of them. Download Game Time today for last-minute tickets at the lowest price, all guaranteed. I want to talk trade rumors here. Marshon Lattimore, from Bleacher Report and other outlets out there, are pushing the trade idea of like the Saints are rebuilding or whatever, and they can save money, and Marshon Lattimore can help a contender, which I agree with that last part for sure. Lattimore might not be in the same, top 3, top 5, whatever quarterback conversation, has missed some time. He's still really good. That's still someone you trust, someone that doesn't allow a bunch of completions and yards, and teams still respect in terms of targeting versus not targeting. My issue here is this. I don't know why this continues to get pushed, because it doesn't help the Saints' salary cap spot. They have already adjusted the Marshon Lattimore contract again. So the first thing I was going to say, like, trade rumor for a big name. What does the contract actually look like? Here's what it is. The Saints have a $14.62 million cap hit for Marshon Lattimore this year. That's pretty good. That's not that much for a number one corner. The new team would only owe $1.21 million. The dead money if the Saints traded him is $31 million. So you're doubling the cap hit this year to move on from him. So it was like third-round pick is the trade value. I'm losing, $16 million-ish to get a third? No, that's bad. That's a bad investment. So instead, drop a different name who you think could end up being traded this offseason. Any player, any team, within reason, there's not going to be Patrick Mahomes. Drop that player name for me in the comments. I want to check in here on J.K. Dobbins. Now, this was going to be Dobbins and Chiefs specific, but moments before we went live on today's show, the Chiefs have re-signed Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So the running back room now looks like this. Isaiah Pacheco is back. CEH is back. And then it's Michael P. Ryan, Keontae Ingram, the rugby player they signed, Derek Prince. They're probably okay at running back. They could still add somebody. But Dobbins does still remain a free agent. So where does he end up going? Like, one game played in 2023. 8 games in 2022. When he has played very well, but he has missed a lot of time in recent years. The other team he took a notable visit to that we know of, Chargers, who also, by the way, got Ben Mason and as a fullback, as they put their backfield into the old Ravens backfield. Gus Edwards is there. You could just get the band back together again. It's Ravens West edition. They need help. I feel like they're going to take Blake Corum in the third. It just makes so much sense for all parties involved, I feel like. But, that's Gus Edwards, Isaiah Spiller, Jarrett Patterson, Elijah Dawson. They need running back help. They absolutely need running back help. So finding a way to make that happen does make sense. I think the medicals are a big concern for J.K. Dobbins. Figuring out where that sits is something they'll have to monitor. Now, we'll talk some more draft stuff here in just a moment. And with the NFL draft less than a week away, do not miss out. Hit that, or less than a month away. I don't know why I said week. Less than a month away. Hit that sub button for more free NFL and NFL draft YouTube videos. I did want to bury this part, not bury it. I want to mention this part at the back end of the video. The Michael Penix hype, which I like his prospect, continues to be pushed by several different NFL reporters. And in a draft process that is always hype season, silly season, propaganda season, this really does come off to me as one of the more blatant attempts of, look at what my client does. Did you guys see this viral tweet today of this is what Michael Penix's mirrors look like? With the caption of, this was sent to me by unnamed people of this is what his apartment looks like after he moved out. First off, a couple thoughts. A, it's clearly not moved out of. Right there, my guy has his medicine there. Like, there's still stuff out in the lobby. It's not moved out at all, right? Look, by the way, let's capture this play designs, right? We'll keep this up here as we work through some of those L3s, Chris. I want to be clear. I do like Penix as a day 2 prospect. I think there are a lot of things to like about him. I think as a pure pocket passer, I am very intrigued. This is getting to be too much for me. Like, this is so transparently sent from the Penix camp, right? Like, come on, look how committed he is. Hype my guy. The same guy's hyping over. Certain media members are pushing too hard. And when you're not a draft analyst and your job is the reporter, it bleeds into the propaganda area for me. This is clearly sent from Penix's camp, right? Like, you time it up with the report of, look how Penix interviewed great, right as he goes onto the podium for the combine. By the way, these are not play designs. These are formations. There's no plays. It's different trips formations and shotgun formations. That's what that is. There are things that I really like about Michael Penix, the prospect. As I said earlier, as a pure pocket passer, I think he's up there with anybody in this year's class. But some of the stuff under pressure, some of the stuff when it's not clean, really does raise red flags for me. Not to mention the medical red flags, which, by the way, it always annoys me, happens every year. Hey, medical's passed, flying colors, the day he does his medical information. Like, teams have not looked at it yet. Like, they have not dug in. They're in the info gathering stage. It's just kind of suspicious to me.